And thus, with one movie, I am reminded exactly why they stopped making movies after Transporter 3. Hello and welcome back to another Midnight Showing. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Transporter Refueled with apparently water because there's nothing to this movie whatsoever. Yeah. For those who don't want a spoiler version, this movie was crap. It was complete and utter, badly acted, not very interesting actiony crap. I mean, it's mind-boggling just how much of this movie just doesn't work. And I don't think I really found anything that I liked about this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not enraged. I'm more of just perplexed that this movie gave me so little to actually talk about. Because it's how little actually went into this movie. It's not that good. It's complete not a crap. And gets an honest to God fuck it from me. Yeah, fuck it. This movie is a contender for top 10 worst movies of the year so far. I don't understand. How could you screw up? Agent 47 didn't even screw up this much. I mean, just wow. Oh. So, yeah, those who want to stay for spoilers after that, this movie is horrid. The whole premise is basically given away in the trailer. There's no real surprises outside of what you've seen there. The transporter is hired for a job. Things go astray. His dad gets kidnapped, and now he's got to see the job through to get his dad back. Plot, tight and nice little bow. Yes, and I did say dad because the guy that gets kidnapped is his father. Not the cop guy who's been in every single other Transporter movie. No. A new guy that's just now his dad. Because I guess we needed a dad figure inside of this. Yes, and you're already typing away your Taken comments. Because yes, this is essentially just Taken with the Transporter. It's made by the same guys who did the Taken movies. I mean, it's not even that subtle, guys. I can't believe that this actually made it past green light. Yeah, so this is like the second time they've tried to reboot the Transporter. They made it into a TV series on TNT. I don't even know if that made it to a second season or not. This movie definitely, if it gets a sequel, I will be surprised. I mean, I will be legitimately surprised that this movie got a sequel, because I don't think it'll be able to make its money back. Not that it was actually shot with that much money, with some of the cheapness inside of it. But, yeah, let's just take this one piece at a time. The acting from everybody is either passable or just outright bad. I mean, there isn't some outstanding performance, no overreaction here that's going to make you say, oh, maybe that's worth it, it's actually kind of funny. No, they're taking every single breath on set as seriously as possible, but none of the actors inside this, save for one, has the ability to deliver all of their lines correctly. They can't show the emotions that they're supposed to be showing. The women are supposed to be falling for, well, the Transporter and his dad, and yeah, aside from a couple of sexual escapades with dad, the main lady chick, whose actress name I don't even know, I mean, it was just like an emotional wasteland. She's supposed to be breaking down in front of the Transporter, telling him the backstory and all this stuff after they had sex with each other. And by the way, the sex inside of this is really PG. I mean, really PG. The other Transformer movies, although, yeah, technically not rated R or hard R, they at least had an edge to them. A sense of style. Not in this movie. And I think part of that was the actresses. But yeah, the main one, she's supposed to be breaking down, telling her backstory about how this guy bought her from her mother for $500 and put her in a prostitution ring. And it just... she can't even deliver a line like that. I mean, she should be both broken up, and I don't mind that she's throwing in a joke about it. I mind that the joke was thrown in haphazardly, like the writer put it in the script as an afterthought, and that's how she's delivering it. Is this really the best foot forward you can put out, guys? And that's not to say that the Transporter is anything special. He is a far cry from Jason Statham. By God, Jason Statham is the reason why we liked the Transporter movies. Yes, they were always stupid. Yes, they had a lot of holes and didn't necessarily make sense. But he could do the action, and he sold us on the emotions that the Transporter is supposed to be feeling. When he starts getting attached, when he starts learning more and more about his job, and bad things start happening. Because, yeah, the Transporter. Jason Statham is the Transporter, and to try to reboot this without him was probably the worst decision this movie could have made. Because I believe it was Ed Starkin, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's not intimidating at all. He's trying to do his best Jason Statham impersonation, but I can honestly understand Ed way too much for him to be Jason Statham. Jason Statham has a nice little lisp that slurs some of his lines together so that when he does his heavy Aussie accent, it comes out kind of just like this. It makes for very intense moments when he's in your face. When he can slur his lines together and comes off legitimately intimidating. One of the best lines delivered from him, in my opinion, was inside the first Expendables movie when he just beats the crap out of the the guy who slept with his girlfriend and all of his friends. When he's deflating the balls and he's like, next time, I'll be sure to deflate all of your balls. He slurs that line so well that it just comes off as like this intimidating one-liner. You're like, oh shit. And only Jason Statham could have delivered that line like that. If Ed Starkin tried to do it inside of this movie in a similar situation or something like that, it would not go off very well. He tries his own one-liners like, hey, should have given me the keys. And crap, you're gonna make me late. And it doesn't come off like an action hero. I don't care how many of the times this movie tries to show him with his shirt off so you can get a good look at his six-pack of abs and all this crap. Because he's not intimidating at all. He doesn't deliver his lines with enough gravitas or enough force. He always kind of feels like he's whispering a little bit. And honestly, even the fighting in this has kind of gotten subpar. Moving on from the acting, because, well, before I do that, there is one standout actor who actually did give a shit and was actually trying. And that was Jason Statham's dad, who legitimately does act like a pretty nice guy. He's likable in the film, and every single time he was on screen, he was probably the only one that was actually coming off as fun. He had some funny lines, he had some really, really good moments. Not at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning of the movie, he's kind of a bit of a mouth breather who can't tell the difference between a juicer and a freaking coffee maker. Come on. But at the later parts of the movie, I was looking forward to just watching him on screen. And when one of the girls dies in his arms and he's trying to save her, he's the only one able to deliver some actual emotion from the situation. I highly recommend that guy get a better role because he was too good for this movie. But yeah, going on, let's go on to the failure of the action scenes inside of this. And there are a ton of those. And I mean, a ton. Oh my god. This movie gives the middle finger to physics so many times in this movie. And no, I'm not talking about, I get it, the other Transporter movies are all stupid action, and they have just as many FUs to physics. But they don't go quite as far as this movie. This movie tries to really sell you on just this Transporter being such a badass. If I were to compare him to, say, like Agent 47, which I just saw recently, even though the video will probably be out after this one. I'm kind of behind with school and whatnot. But, not behind with school, I'm just behind in this because I hadn't been paying time for school. But in Agent 47, Agent 47 is genetically engineered to be smarter, faster, stronger, to be a better killer. So when he does something outlandish, when he does something deemed not possible, or there's no way he could have survived that type of shit, it's semi believable because of him being this super soldier. When the transporter does something like this, it just makes you shake your head because he's not invincible. He's human. He bleeds. He can apparently jump off of a freaking jet ski that's somehow working on land still, well, into a car through its window and turn himself midair so he's feet first and lands and kicks the driver out of the car. I don't even know how many ways. I couldn't even count how many ways physics would state, hey, bullshit on that. I mean, it is. If that had been inside of Agent 47, I would have liked it in Agent 47 because you have a character that can actually do that. But in Transporter, you don't have that. You got a regular Joe who's just really good at driving cars. And apparently martial arts. Although the martial arts inside of this just sucks so many ways. When Jason Statham punched something, yeah, he's fake punching it. He probably isn't actually hitting or he's just barely tapping. But the way that he flexes his muscles when he does it, the way he pulls back from in reactions, how he grunts, how he moves before and after the punch, you believe that Jason Statham is actually fighting. You don't believe that with Ed Starkin at all. In fact, there's one moment when he's fighting one of those really big guys, which gives you the obligatory action cliche where the hero hits him several times and the guy's like and goes at him. You get that. But so he hits him in the neck or something to kind of like to distract him, and then he goes like 5-6 strikes on the guy's stomach. Of course it does nothing. It's an action cliche. But at the same time, I never once believed that the transporter had actually hit that guy because of how just girlish. He's coming out of a lot more chops and like slapping moves. I mean, he's not doing the kung fu, like hitting him with the base of the hands or doing a lot of whip punches or anything like that. No, he's coming off like a lot more judo chops, and it's just like, what the hell is this? If you had an actor who can't do the action believably, then get a different actor. If you're gonna reboot this without Jason Statham, I don't know, get somebody. I mean, Jai Courtney could at least make me believe that he punched something. Well, maybe. But you can find somebody better that can actually punch. How could you screw up the action? And it's not just to say that the actors are at fault here, because the camera work is the same shaky cam crap that we saw inside of Taken 3, with even more loud sound effects to make you think that action happens. I'm sick and tired of this. Come on. How hard is it to actually film action? How hard? It's not. Put the camera on a mobile tripod or get it on one of those little back braces that freaking for stabilization shots so you can get nice smooth moves. But no, let's just film it 5 times and keep cutting between the 5 shots like 10 or 12 different times in 2-second intervals so that no one can tell what the fuck is going on. It's lazy. It is lazy. It's annoying, it's lazy, and it makes the whole movie boring if I can't get invested in the action. I can't get invested in the characters because A, they're not written well enough to get invested, and B, they're not being acted well enough, minus one guy, to get invested with any of them. The action is just poor. The story. Tell me if you have heard about this one from a Transporter film before. So the Transporter ends up helping a bunch of girls from the slave trade get out from the person who's selling them around while screwing him over. That's basically the story. They add in a robbing subplot, but it doesn't go anywhere. It really doesn't. And yeah, that's basically the story. I can't think of anything that was actually before. Oh, what about the twist that they were using the transporter and his dad? That they tricked them and got the dad captured twice in order to use it. I saw it coming out of the starting gate, guys. It's in the trailer. This movie took no twists or turns. It wasn't even popcorn material. It was boring. Emphasis on the boring. This movie didn't make me mad. It made me want to go home and put on Mad Max. I just bought it, by the way. Honestly, best $20 I spent all year. And now let's talk about the production stuff, because there were some production things in here that were not just cheap looking, but the fact that I could actually tell that you'd set down a mat for them to fight on while they're sitting on top of this hill. Oh my god. This is pretty bad, guys. So when the final battle between the transporter and the guy who's in the sex trade, obligatory badass or bad villain, because I can't even think of his name at the moment, when they get in the big old fight and they're just going at it, we get a couple of good sweeping shots intermixed with the crappy editing. But when you do to the sweeping shot, you can clearly see a square, a freaking square that they're fighting on, supposedly covered with rocks that make a perfect square. Yeah, they're fighting on a dressed up mat, so that when they throw someone down, they're not hitting the hard ground, they're hitting a nice padded surface. I mean, good lord, if I can see that, you have done failed. Cover up the edges with dirt. Don't put some rocks on the corners or anything like that. I know you have to pick the thing up again, but, there are ways around this. I should not be able to tell that they are not, at least in wrestling, when they throw them onto the freaking ring that's bouncing everywhere, I can at least believe that they're fighting on a ring with a bunch of springs underneath, but a ring at the least. I never believed once that they were fighting on rocks like they're supposed to be. And just, this isn't the only time I spotted something cheap. I couldn't help but notice that they used the same office space 3 times dressed up. This is a multi-million-dollar production, isn't it? Why are you using locations like this? There's no way that the office where the last shootout takes place is on a goddamn boat. It's obviously a soundstage. There's no way that is an actual boat. Especially considering that the guys just magically show up there at the end to confront their boss about their stolen money. But this movie is mind-bogglingly bad. It is. It's just one of those ones that's going to leave you confused and dazed about what the hell did you just watch? Because it wasn't a transporter movie. It was a Taken without Liam Neeson. It was just dumb. I have really nothing else to add to this. A final verdict gets an honest to God, fuck it. Don't waste your money. Go buy Mad Max. Go see... Hell, I could recommend that you go see Agent 47 over this. Although I still say wait until Redbox or on Netflix on that one. But go see Mission Impossible. Go buy The Avengers, which is going to come out fairly soon from what I hear. I mean, there's just so many other better action films that have come out this year alone that there's no reason to spend money on this. And yeah, that's it for me. Have you seen Transporter Refueled? I hope to God not. But if you did, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and maybe we'll get some healthy discussion going. If you like the video, be sure to share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more. If you want to see more of my more recent videos, I will have them linked right down here. And yeah, that's it for me. So I will see you all next time.